Partial fractions, part 1. To add these two fractions, we need the same common denominators. So I need to multiply this fraction with the denominator here, like this. And I need to multiply this fraction with this denominator. And then simplify. If I expand the bracket in the denominator, I have a single fraction. Now partial fractions is the reverse of this. So we start with a single fraction. We have to fully factorize the denominator. And then we can use these two factors, the x plus 1 and the x minus 3, to create what we call partial fractions. The only thing is we don't know what the numerators are, so if we just call them a and b, now we need a process of working out what a and b are. Once we know what a and b are, we've essentially gone back to our original fractions, these. Example 1. We have a single fraction with a fully factorized denominator. Using these factors, x minus 3 and x plus 1, we create these two partial fractions. To add these fractions together, we need common denominators. So I've multiplied this fraction with x plus 1 over x plus 1 here, and I've multiplied this fraction with x minus 3 over x minus 3 here. And now you can see we have the same common denominator. So we can simplify. Our objective here was to have the same denominator on both sides. If the denominators are the same, then the numerators on each side must also be the same, because we have a single fraction on each side now. So if we write down an equation just for the numerators being equal to each other, we can solve this to work out what a and b are. I'm going to use a method called the substitution method. So to work out a, I need to eliminate all of this, and to do that I need to substitute in x equals 3, and 3 minus 3 is 0, times b is 0, so we're left with just this. There's only one unknown, x was 3 here as well, and we can work out the value of a. To work out the value of b, we need to eliminate this part. So we substitute in x equals minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is 0, times a is 0, so we've got rid of this part. And you can see now the only unknown is b. We can solve to work out what b is. Once you know what a and b are, you substitute those values into here, and you have your partial fractions. So starting by equating the numerators to each other, we substitute in x equals 3, so we get rid of b, solve to work out a, and then we substitute in x equals minus 1 into all of this, and that eliminates a, and we can calculate b. And finally we substitute back in the a and b values that we've just worked out into our partial fractions, and we're done. And if you look at the original problem here, we've worked out what a and b are.